It is the beginning of the year 2020, and our world has been struck by a global pandemic, COVID-19. People are becoming restless staying at home, the economy is crashing, but most importantly, human health is at risk.
In the world, economies are crumbling.
Yet 475 deaths in just the last 24 hours.
120,067 people have tested positive.
This is life on the front lines, in the epicenter of our country's pandemic.
COVID-19, also known as SARS-CoV-2, is from a group of coronaviruses that can infect people despite its animal origins. The death toll has been rising, and Johns Hopkins University has reported that there have been 19,700 deaths as of April 11, 2020, and this is just in the United States. As research into the origins of COVID-19 continue, the earliest cases have been linked to a seafood and live animal market in Wuhan, China. These markets cause animals to endure a lot of stress, which weaken their immune systems. And in addition, there are a lot of illnesses that are transmitted from one species to another in these markets. Pangolins are believed to carry the same strain of COVID-19, and in these markets they are illegally trafficked for their scales. Pangolins could be responsible for the COVID-19 spread from the epicenter. Another theory is that the spread started in a laboratory where bats were being tested on. Either way, both possibilities have a commonality: humans intervening on the lives of animals and in the process harming them. Let's look at other illnesses where this commonality is present. Anthrax, acquired from eating contaminated meat. Brucellosis, most commonly acquired by consuming contaminated dairy products. Per year, there are 500,000 cases. From 2013 to 2017, there were 29 global outbreaks of Campylobacteriosis. This is a common bacterial infection, and there are 200 deaths per year. Two of the main causes: eating contaminated poultry and dairy. It seems as the list continues, the words get a little harder to say. But cryptosporidiosis, which is caused by contact with young calves. The next one is rare, but it is quite terrifying.
Initially, doctors gave Tony 1 year to live. He's still alive right now, but again, he requires care around the clock at a Hendersonville.
Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease is a nightmarish disease that is a human variant of mad cow's disease. It can be acquired by eating the nerve tissue of an animal that has been infected with mad cow's disease. It has been found in hot dogs, bologna, or ground meats. Personality changes, dementia, and seizures are symptoms of this disease.
Rooms in our home. He would get lost going to the grocery store and someone would call me and say, "We have your husband."
Then there's E. coli. In 1992, there was an outbreak when ground meat was sold at a Jack in the Box that caused 3 children to die and 500 people to be ill. Outbreaks continued in the U.S. with ground meat. And then in 2006,
Feds have a new warning about spinach. They want you to stay away from all spinach.
E. coli in spinach was putting human health at risk. 199 cases surfaced, of which 31 developed hemolytic uremic syndrome, which possibly leads to kidney failure, and 3 of which resulted in death. When the origins of this strain of E. coli was looked into, it was found that an identical strain was in the cattle feces of a nearby cattle ranch. I wanted to further investigate the E. coli outbreak of 2006, so I decided to email the owners of the cattle ranch. After I sent an email to the landowners that lease their property to cattle ranchers, a representative sent back a very informative email on their opinions of what occurred during the E. coli outbreak of 2006. When the outbreak happened, they nicely allowed the USDA to test the cattle feces for E. coli, and the same strain was found in their feces. However, the representative says she does not believe the mechanism that they propose, that the E. coli in the feces traveled through the water to the spinach fields, was probable. In quote, she said, "There was no E. coli in the irrigation water and no other proposed mechanism." It may be difficult to come to a conclusion about who was responsible for the E. coli outbreak of 2006. I found another source, from Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy, and they stated, though E. coli was found in environmental samples on all of the farms, samples that matched the outbreak strain were limited to one farm, the Piscinas Ranch in San Benito County. There, officials found the outbreak strain in river water, cattle feces, and wild pig feces. After hearing from different perspectives of who is to blame of the E. coli outbreaks of 2006, it is hard to come to a conclusion. Nonetheless, I'm finding other sources that easily put the blame of other E. coli outbreaks on the meat industry and the dirty condition of these industries. 13 years and many outbreaks later, E. coli still remains a problem for public health. Now, the most concerning disease is coronavirus. However, COVID-19 is only the most recent strain. In 2002, in China, there was an outbreak of coronavirus, or SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, and there was believed to have 5 different origins, all of which were in contact with animals. Experts believe that the 2000 outbreak of SARS originated in wet markets, where civets that were carrying this disease were transmitting it to humans. Today, the COVID-19 strain is affecting our world in unimaginable ways. The unemployment rates are rising and the economy is suffering. People are trying to stay home all day in order to slow the infection rates and keep themselves and their families safe. Many schools are shutting down and changing to online education, and this means that students are staying home all day. For many, this is a problem. One high schooler states that COVID has forced this person to stay in an unstable environment for long periods of time. And now this person is unable to focus on their school and extracurriculars, and they must stay home. This brave high schooler is not alone in deciding to stay home in order to keep their family safe, despite the impact it has on themselves. Then there are those who need to go outside to work and support their family and keep food on the table. There are also those who go outside and work, i.e. doctors, in order to support society. Those who had high hopes and aspirations for 2020 must halt their work. Maddie is a cross-country runner that's placed second at state, 42nd at national championships, and has been nominated for cross-country runner of the year.
Hi, I'm Maddie Coles, and I'm a sophomore at Claremont High School, and Corona has taken away my track season. It is definitely really difficult to train on my own.
Most importantly, people are suffering firsthand from this disease.
The coronavirus really started to affect my life when it became a global pandemic. It began to personally affect me since people I know have and had the coronavirus. And it does become really stressful for their family, of course, and for us because we know them and they're recovering, but it's pretty scary to see.
April 2020, China placed a ban on the sale of non-aquatic wildlife. However, there are exceptions to the rule. For instance, animals used for Chinese medicine. When we look back at the history, there was a ban placed after the SARS outbreak in 2002. However, this ban was lifted in a couple months. All the illnesses discussed originated in wet markets, dairy farms, slaughterhouses, and petting zoos. Emerging zoonotic diseases account for 75% of all emerging diseases, and most of these zoonotic diseases come from livestock. World Health Organization states that the greatest risk for zoonotic disease transmission occurs at the human-animal interface. Direct or indirect human exposure to animals, their products, for example, meat, milk, eggs, and/or their environments. Each year, 2.2 million die from animal to human diseases, and this number needs to drop. If the harm of animals from these industries do not change your habits, then maybe the bigger problems that arise from zoonotic diseases will. Farm animals are trapped in terrible, filthy conditions, which could only call for disease to follow. These illnesses are causing suffering for the animals in addition to all the pain they already face. Then we have to think of ourselves and our loved ones. Is the risk of eating contaminated animal byproducts and visiting petting zoos worth our safety? Right now, our world is hysterical. COVID-19 has instilled fear in our society and caused problems that may last for decades. The empty streets, the crowded hospitals, and the panic in our world should be a powerful reminder of the consequences of harming animals to solely benefit us. No matter what your opinion is on the way the government is handling this pandemic, all of the hysteria in our world right now could have been prevented. Go to this link to urge World Health Organization to end wet markets, and we can take a step towards never allowing this to happen again.